Yo, what's going on? It's the Parlay Cigars podcast, and I'm your boy X, aka X to the Z, aka Exclusive 1914, aka Mr. X Rated. And I'm here with my brothers today.
What it do, man? It's Sean, aka Big Sean, aka 1990s, baby. What it do?
What's going on, everybody? This your boy Big Mo, aka Mozilla is back, aka Sean. He ain't have a lot of AKAs today. Now I feel like I gotta come on with about 3-4 of them, but I wasn't. He ain't tell me he was gonna cut it short today. Man,
I'm bad, man.
Hey man, we smooth over here. So
Move over here.
Go ahead, X.
And as y'all can see, we got a special guest with us. Very special guest, our first guest on the episode. And like I said before, she's doing big things. You probably seen her shout her out on the page. She has the TND party room in Cincinnati. She's Mrs. Everything, does Mrs. Cincinnati. In the guest
513 in the building.
For sure.
Yeah, I often hear y'all sneak this to Bingle, so I always got to get on y'all comments and throw the little Bingle symbol in there.
It was all good till our Ohioan brother went down.
Right, y'all was doing well with what's his name, Joe Burrows.
Yeah, Joe Burrows. Yeah,
he was balling out.
It's all right. Y'all probably get a championship with him.
Hey, Mo, he was balling out till he met the Redskins.
Man, them dirty Redskins is dirty, man.
We are, man. We so dirty team,
skins is dirty. Hey, anybody with skins in their name is dirty. Listen,
right.
pork skins.
Man, we worse than the Waterboys team, man. We are a dirty team, man.
For sure, man. Yeah, we ain't gonna talk about that, but we definitely gonna, if they do right by this offseason and get the people they need to get. Like I said, I don't want to see us drafting high for no freaking wide receivers or anything like that. We need some linemen. I don't care.
Right. Somebody to block for that boy.
So
for sure,
regardless, I'm wearing my Bengals gear.
The star player.
Always, man. But yeah, let's get to the show, man. Get into everything. Actually, our week, man. How was everything going?
Oh, everything's smooth so far, man.
Smooth. How you feeling after the did you get the second round of COVID
shot?
No,
I ain't get my second shot. I know y'all waiting, man. No,
right.
I ain't get my second vaccine yet. It's on next Thursday, so it's gonna be after our next episode. So 2 weeks, everybody will find out. But I'm gonna let y'all. I'm gonna hit y'all up. Let y'all know.
Hey, Mo, are you twitching yet? You twitching up yet?
Nope. I've been good, man. I've been good.
Hey, you take that shot and take a shot of vodka, like, all right.
Yeah, I took about 8 shots after taking it. So,
It's gonna be that second shot that's gonna get him, because they said that's where everybody is getting the real symptoms from.
Yeah, they are. They are. But ain't nobody out like longer than a day though. They out a day and they been back at it. You know what I'm saying? So I'll take a day in the bed.
Right. Oh, I'm about to say, was they Caucasian, was they black? Because both you want to try to take 2 days.
It was both. Everything. All races and ethnicities. It was the same symptoms and reactions.
Yeah. Nah, it's crazy because they're trying to see how they're gonna do it, man. If it's gonna be one of those things where it's like a yearly shot, or if it's gonna be, take it once and be done with it.
It's gonna be yearly. It's gonna be like the flu shot, but you gotta get it like 14 days after the flu shot.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's gonna be because I mean that bag it ain't gonna stay in you that long. So I think we gonna, just like they recommend the flu shot, they gonna recommend the COVID-19 vaccine. So
yeah, buddy, that's too much. You getting the flu shot, 2 COVID shots a year?
Yeah, hey, put it in me.
Oh, that's a mix of
hey, put it up. Hey, hey man, I don't know, man. I'm for it. You know what I mean?
You said he the weird, slide some more to me. All right, man. Let's get into the stuff, man. Let's get into what's popping. The first thing I wanted to talk about, speaking of the COVID vaccine and everything, they said the CDC just made not wearing a face mask and refusing to do so on public transportation and transit hubs a federal crime. What y'all thinking about that? What y'all feeling on that?
I think it's just a scare. I don't think they really trying to. We'll see if they enforce it, but a federal crime, come on, man.
Yeah, I think it's a waste of time. I think it's because when they do stuff like that, is one, who gonna enforce it, and two, the problem that they always gonna have is if they do start enforcing it, which ethnic groups are gonna get it enforced the most. That's how everything is. Because you see it now with the mask, how people get tickets, and only certain groups of people getting tickets. So yeah.
Exactly. Nah, and I can definitely see that, but I don't know. You get the chance to enforce something, and that's like you said. It's like I can see enforcing it in certain cases, and definitely my thing is how if I'm just sitting at the bus stop, maybe that ain't my bus. And here's the thing: a lot of stuff is
maybe it ain't my bus.
It ain't my bus. Like I'm not about to be wearing this mask the whole time. You get what I'm saying? So
nah, not outside. Yeah.
Jump off. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And they say, "Oh, outside you cool, and outside you're not."
It's like who are they going to have checking these buses, these transits and stuff? Like who are they going to really? They barely want to pay anybody. Like they going to pay somebody a chauffeur a bus?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nah, they probably come get you.
That's what they saying. $15 minimum. I might quit my job, just stay on the bus. Hey, sir, ma'am.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Who really want to be that person though?
Shoot, you got a lot of people.
That's me. I'm
top flight security in the world, Craig. That's what you got.
You call the mask police.
For sure. You got people who couldn't make it past the academy, the police academy.
That's worse than parking authority.
Exactly. But look, but you got them. Look, how many times you went outside and seen that ticket on your car? You got them. They out there.
Hey, that's crazy though. Just think if you know what I'm saying, somebody get locked up, they like, man, what you in here for? That's kind of worse than saying you in there for child support.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'm in here. What you in here for, big dog? I ain't wearing my mask on the bus.
And I refuse.
Like, come on, man.
That's like the goofiest thing ever, bro. Like,
it don't even sound right.
Don't make sense.
It's crazy, but that's the time we in, man. Because I mean, look at like we was talking about when the storming of the Capitol and everything. You see all this stuff, and it's like, bruh, all them people out there without a mask, and they said some of them came on buses and everything else. So like, oh yeah, there's people out there like, look, forget these masks, and it's still, it's still here. It's still prevalent.
Yeah.
And it's why.
I don't think it'll hold up for too long. I think they just trying to set things in play, just you know what I mean, for people to just trying to, to at ease the mindset. You know what I'm saying? To at ease the mind. That's why I think they just trying. It's a mind game right now. Like just like I'm telling you, for real. Just like when I got that first vaccine, though. I'm telling you, I was sitting there, bruh. I was sitting there for 15 minutes after I got the vaccine, right? And I'm like looking at my hands, nails. I was waiting to turn into, y'all seen Michael Jackson off of Thriller. I was waiting to turn into a werewolf. Man, I'm telling you, I heard the music and everything.
He said something gonna happen. I feel it.
It was a mind thing. So I really think, they got to do these things, just like the travel restrictions, leaving out of the U.S., coming back. I recently just had to cancel a trip due to these, those guidelines and such, because I'm just like, no, I'm not. If I test negative somewhere, I'm not staying nobody. I was supposed to go to Mexico. I'm not staying in nobody's Mexico for 14 days. No. Like where I'm supposed to go. Listen, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think it's all mental.
Yeah, and that's the thing that it may not be, but I think it is if they're going to actually use it to do what it's supposed to do and possibly cut down the cases. Because I mean, you see somebody get hit with a federal crime, you probably be like, okay, let me put this damn mask on. You feel me?
Facts.
But I think
you know what? I was about to just say, I was in Miami 2 weeks ago, and even if they do the tickets on the public transit, everywhere else, the beach is a public place. Nobody on the beach had a mask on, and it was crowded. And it's like,
but you're
okay,
supposed to
so
be good outside.
what? But not if it's people within 6 feet of you.
You see,
it was people everywhere in South Beach, and nobody had on a mask. Of course, when you went inside the restaurant, wear your mask until you get to the table. And then people like walking out the restaurant, they like, I'm leaving anyway, so I'm not putting my mask on. It was crazy. Yeah. It was crazy.
Man, I don't get that part too. I'm sorry, Mo, but I don't get that part too. You put your mask on to go into a door, you take your mask off. Like,
exactly.
It don't make sense.
Or the dining outside that they got the little tents around, because it's like, you just put me in a bubble with people. And
just spraying the germs.
It's just circulating in this mug. You see it sweating off the stick, everything.
It's crazy because spring break about to come back around. Y'all remember the first time we got put on lockdown?
Right.
And then everybody went to Florida. It was like showing everybody on the beach, all the spring breakers, all the college kids. And they was out, woo, oh yeah, we got 6,000 outbreaks, because of spring break. Now, they're not going to stop. They about to go right back there.
Facts.
So they don't have to test to go to Florida. If you're driving, like that's the hub. That's the hub of spring break.
It's fact. I don't know what it is about Miami and Atlanta. I don't think they realize it's COVID out there. But they kicking it.
Listen.
And I've been to both during COVID, and you would in Atlanta, you would. The only thing that looked like something different was the malls, because the malls were only letting, like, we went to Lenox, and Lenox was only letting 7 or 8 people into the store. Everything else, we went to Compound. You would not even have known that it was a COVID. People was in there swag surfing shoulder to shoulder. You had no idea that COVID was even happening. Now, I'm saying this, but y'all, I was outside, I promise. Outside the Compound. I wasn't in the mix.
I'm glad we're doing the Zoom, because I'm like, I can't be in the same area in 2 places.
I swear.
Hey, maybe we should have took the podcast to Atlanta. We probably could have been together, y'all.
Hey, listen.
I may have to put my mask on right now. That's too many places, man.
No, we could have been in too many places right now. I went to the Trap Museum.
Oh, hey, that'd be dope. Need to get T.I. on the line.
Not T.I. We can deal with 2 Chainz. I don't like T.I. He got sexual charges right now too.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that. That's something. While we talk about it, let's get into it. What's up with T.I., man? What's going on? Did y'all see the?
I can't really speak of it because we don't know. It's some lies. We don't know what's the truth. It's too early to tell. And honestly, I don't really want to even know about that. That's what's going on in you guys' bedroom. I don't really care.
They said they got a ring going on. Her best friend said, "Hey, I'm the one that go out and get the girls for them."
Yeah, and you know what? I think that when you start talking about them having consensual threesomes with people, that's fine. I think the problem that everybody having is how they're saying that T.I. forces people to take drugs. And people will argue that nobody can force you to take drugs, but I think what's happening once the girls are under the influence is where the problem and stuff blurs.
I've been Bill Cosby.
I don't know. I just think it's too many people for it to not be true.
This is another Bill Cosby situation.
Another Bill Cosby, but T.I. younger. Bill Cosby, he don't care right now. He's like, whatever.
Right.
You got T.I., he's like, you know what I'm saying?
You got to take this stuff be happening for years, though.
My thing is, why do you feel like they need to, induce these women to take these drugs, or, you know what I mean? Stuff like, you know what I mean? Why do you feel like they need that? They got the celebrity you know what I mean? They got the fame and stuff like the fame, fortune, and everything that anybody will be attracted to. Like, why go the extra mile to do that extra stuff? That, you know what I mean? I don't understand it.
Here's the thing.
Because they be strung out.
Well, they be strung out, but here's the thing too. When it comes down to the image, you tarnish their image. If they're on these drugs and they're strung out and they're, you know, like you can't really say what did or didn't if you were on these drugs. You get what I'm saying? The problem is when they say, oh, well, he forced me to take the drugs, then now that's a whole different thing. But if you're someone, oh, no, she just decided to use, she was like, what we doing? We popping whatever. Then guess what? You look like the drug addict. And you have anything under your belt that tarnishes you, it defeats your like case. It kind of makes it where your character is discriminated against.
In certain areas, that stuff like that's what they do. Like that's what's expected. A lot of women go to those areas, men, women, it don't matter like what you are. You go to those areas, you look for it. It's been places, you know, you done heard some stuff, and I look past a lot of stuff. But I go out of town, and I'm just like, oh shoot, like what did he say? Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm for like, it's just crazy.
It becomes part of it. Oh, you just in LA. That's what y'all do. They in Hollywood. Yeah, that's what they do.
Like, that's what they do. I'm cool.
You get what I'm saying? It becomes that thing.
No.
When it comes to it, I'm like, man, am I gonna believe this crackhead? Or when it comes down to it, am I gonna believe this crackhead or this prominent figure?
But I knew something was up. T.I. though, man. He must have been taking something though, even before then. T.I. he been coming out.
He's always been weird.
Yeah, he been reading the
Hey, let the light skinned man go, man. Bro, you light skinned too, man. Come on, man. We got too many good ones, man. We trying to keep the lights. We got Drake. Shoot.
No, you got Drake, but Drake said he dated SZA in 08.
And look, and SZA said she had to come back and correct him. Like, yeah, no, that was, you got the timeline a little bit wrong.
Was it 18? Was it 18?
I can't remember when she said. I think she said it was later. It was a time where she was legal, but it was later.
Right, because she was a young cub.
Yeah, good for him.
Well, hold on, y'all. Drake lost his cool points with his baby mama. He be around the baddest of the baddest. Yeah. And look who he chose to have a baby with. So he got the light skins down by 100 points. Let's just go ahead and put that out there.
She was a model and stuff. She did her thing.
Let me go ahead and
I'm about to say.
What we got next, Max? What we got?
The next thing on the agenda, man, we wanted to give a big shout out and definitely kind of talk about what we're seeing here, like the shift in the culture. Just like, I won't say the shift in the culture because it's been happening, but now we're getting to see a lot more of it, and it's good to see. But I wanted to talk about, there's 3 Louisville brothers that's opened the first Black-owned bourbon distillery, and they opened it in Kentucky, Louisville. So I think it's dope, man. And you know, when you talk about those, like you hear about Uncle Nearest, but you know, the backstory and how they had to dig into that to even get that to come out. You know, that he was the head. He taught, you know, Jack. He taught him how to do it, and you know, we see his name everywhere, but you know, you don't see.
Hold on, Uncle Nearest. Hold on, real quick. You said Uncle Nearest talk. Jack, you talking about Jack Daniels?
Yeah.
Shut up. I did not know that.
So yeah, so if
fill me in.
I suggest y'all really look up this story. The lady,
give me the small version, short version.
Yeah, I got you. The lady name was Fawn Weaver, and she found out that way back in the day that the guy who prepared, like worked in the distillery, made the Jack Daniels. The guy who kind of taught Jack Daniels was a Black guy, and like he mentions him. Jack Daniels does mention him, but you know, it's his company, it's his, and that's pretty much where. But he gave him pretty much the recipe for the Jack Daniels we know today that's been, you know, changed a little bit. So now they have the Uncle Nearest. So when you see the Uncle Nearest Jack Daniels, that's because Uncle Nearest was you would say in that time,
like an associate.
And that's what they said. Jack really treated him like, one of his associates. Like you'll see them in pictures together where he was right next to him when,
Wow.
black people at that point in time couldn't
get the credentials. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So he
Wow.
treated him as such, but due to the time period they were in, that's pretty much all that came out of it. Like I get treated better, but
So it probably wasn't nothing against Jack.
Right.
He probably was just during the times.
Exactly.
Just like now, you see that shift.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of like art, these times now you see that shift. You see, just like you see, other people than black people, African Americans out there protest. You see, it was a lot of Caucasians and stuff out there. So you can tell that times has changed because he probably was cool with him, but he like, I don't want to mess. He didn't want to mess up his money.
Mm-hmm.
But but it might not have also been accepted, and he probably was in his mind that Uncle Nearest, oh, we cool, man, you tight, but I can't, do this. So that's big for Uncle Nearest to come out and do what he doing.
I think it was probably more on his money, or probably more on the safety of Uncle Nearest too, because
that probably would have killed
things like that. He probably got paid. He probably paid him out too, but on the low key, like under the table, like, hey, here your percentage, but I have to be the face because at this time.
Mm-hmm. So. And I think he taught him about it. I think the Jack Daniels recipe is still the Jack Daniels recipe. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's still something. But when you talk about learning the craft from somebody, that's, I think, kind of who taught him and gave him some, insight on it. So I definitely suggest, if you haven't read the story, I caught a glimpse of it on the news, and I follow the lady Fawn Weaver, who brought it to light. You get what I'm saying? She brought it to light, and now you see Uncle Nearest everywhere. And you can go to the distillery, I guess, that they have, and they tell a story about it and give you like the backstory. But it was dope to see, man. Like, it was kind of crazy. Like, oh, we all knew it for so long as this, but knowing that we even had a piece in that, it's crazy. So, and that's why seeing these three brothers open it up in Kentucky is like, that's dope.
That's huge. Hey, someone just said in our comments that there's some black-owned gas stations down here in Ohio now. Yeah, that's huge too. That's dope. Yeah. That's dope.
I'm seeing a lot of that too, like where because how everything go, where you got these certain stores that are part of a big chain, but you starting to get people that move in and own it on there. It's like BP with associate, such and such that owns this. So yeah, I'm starting to see a lot of that. Seeing that in Cincinnati as well. One of the dudes I went to school with owns a BP on I think it's Mitchell or Winton Road. So yeah, man. So shout out to them three brothers. And then also we got Central Ohio's right here in Columbus, Gahanna, Ohio. The first black-owned brewery. It's called Crafted Culture Brewing, and they're opening here. And I believe they're kind of like at a soft open right now. They had something on Monday. They got like events every Monday. They're gonna come out roll out their stuff, but I think they did a soft open. But it's here in Gahanna, so we getting into the liquor, to beer, to whatever.
The first black.
Sean, hey, Sean got the scoop. Sean, look,
he wastes no time.
Look, hey, Sean look like Pookie off New Jack City. He like, come on.
Yo, the owner Sizzle, man. I'll tell you, the owner Sizzle, man, had a great conversation with him today, man. Very down dude, been in the business. I know he's been in the business for quite some time now, and just building it up, and pretty much stepped out on faith and ready to step into it. Got some partners in it, and that location in Gahanna is like a great location. It's right there between the airport and downtown, Eastern, everywhere. And one of the things we have an opportunity to do as well is bring them on our platform. So we will going to be talking about that very soon. So he will be on the platform next month, man. That's going to be huge for us. So we got some things coming. We got our first guest right here, Miss Tiara. We got more to come. It's on the flow. It's on the flow.
Hey, we do the big man, fellas. Nah. But yeah, man.
And when we get back, when we get back together, it's gonna be like fireworks, man. And I kind of feel like it's gonna be like the 4th of July. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I'm bringing bottle rockets. I'm going old school. M4s. I'm bringing it all. I'm bringing sparklers.
For sure,
smoke bombs. I'm bringing everything you can get at the corner store.
Man, when I tell you guys, once we and anytime, Terry, you come up to Columbus, man, you gotta check out the spot. It's very beautiful. We was able to have an opportunity to get a tour of the brewery. It is dope inside. I don't know, X or Mo, have y'all been to the Berry Dog down in Canal, Ohio?
Yeah. We right. It's like 2 minutes away.
Yeah, it's right around the corner from your house, pretty much, Mo. But it's set up like that. It's really laid back. They got dope patio set up as well. So I'm looking forward for us to be check it out, man.
I'm gonna go ahead and get on Groupon, see if they got any of them specials.
Right. Can we get a family discount or something?
See, that's how y'all always do black-owned business. Pay that full price.
I'll do black, white, Puerto Rican, Mexican.
Right. And she sound like my wife. She be like, no, pay the full price, baby. Pay the full price. Like, hey,
don't be. Listen, I tip well. So, hey, I might get a deal, but I'm gonna get you right. For sure.
Okay.
Argue.
For sure. I'm throwing another one on here, man, because I seen this today and I thought this was dope too. But at the same time, I'm like, this makes a good conversation maker because I'm like, I wonder if they're doing it to save themselves. But NASCAR got their first African American woman to become a NASCAR pit crew member, and her name's Brianna Daniels. And I'm like, after the whole Bubba situation, where he found a noose in his garage, and they was like, "Hey, this has been here for months. Like this wasn't a noose. It was what we used to open the garage opener. Like you telling me this man had a noose in his pit for months and didn't even know it? Like, come on."
Open no garage opener, no noose. You using a latch. What happened to a latch? You
feel me?
Up and pull it up. What happened?
Exactly. Yeah. What's up with that? You got to have it tied like a noose. What's up with that? But yeah. So now they banned the Confederate flag, and then now this. So I was like, it's dope to see, and you don't want to, stump on the progress, because I know she had to put a lot of work in to get there, but at the same time, it's like, are y'all doing this to save yourselves?
That's the fact, because that sport is they're more blunt with it compared to other sports. NASCAR, they very blunt with what side are you on, pretty much.
Yeah. That's like me going to Ohio State when I was a freshman. You see, but it was way less African Americans there. Like when I was at Ohio State, listen, man, it was like 9% African American. I was shocked. Listen. So I can just imagine somebody seeing it. Oh, it was bad. It was bad. Man, it was crazy. I was shook. I was shivering in my boots.
I think Mo only probably had like two. It was only like 2 black friends in every class I had, and I was one of the 2. Like,
it was crazy. What? It was crazy, right? It was crazy. Like you go in there, they was like, well, you gonna go in there. They explained it all right to you though. They said they just told and the eyes got big. You're going to be the only African American student in lecture. I was like, okay, all right, whatever. But yeah,
actually, Tia, what they do to us, they send us to the health center. They're like, all right, y'all black kids go to this health center where all the black people are.
Yeah, we went to the Black Culture Center.
It's the Black Culture Center that they send you to.
one little building. It was the smallest damn building on campus.
The smallest building on campus.
Yeah, y'all packed all us in here. Y'all know it get hot.
Right. No AC. We got no AC.
No AC. It wasn't no AC in there.
See, it's the art of deception. It makes you feel like it's a lot. Like, okay, I guess it ain't that bad. We got a good amount of black people here. Like, nah, this is just.
It was crazy. Hey, it was crazy because I remember the 2008 election with President Obama. Everybody was in the. Hey, who's in there sweating bullets?
Bumping Jeezy.
Shit, is he gonna get it?
Right.
Damn, President-elect Obama. Whoa! I couldn't wait to get the hell up out of there.
Everybody on the way back all week, not letting people breathe. Nah, put that Jeezy back on.
Man,
do it 16 times. Can we go to something else?
It was crazy, man. It was crazy. That's the only place I got free printing too.
Yo, I used that free printer till the wheels fell off, man. We had free gym membership. I was going to the gym till I was like 25, man. Like,
oh my
they
God.
cut my swipe off. You had to swipe to get in. I'm like, my swiping ain't working no more.
Yeah, how much you print? I said the whole damn book.
The whole book. Hey, I won't even lie. I used to rent my books, bro. Like, I used to rent them. They had
Urbana wasn't too much different.
Listen, that was in the cornfields.
I bought mine used.
Listen, I rented books. I used to go to they had a little library thing that you can rent it. The only thing is you had to hope that it had it. And you had to give it early. And you had to give it up like it was like you had a certain amount of time to have it with you. It didn't cover the whole time, but I was like, man, I'm putting an extension on this mug.
Hey, you sound like you went to Enterprise to get your book.
Look, I was like, I'm not paying up, man.
They charge you insurance.
Listen, I used to be pissed. You buy a book for $150, then you go back to sell it by the end of the semester. And
$2.
You get $20. Like what?
Hey, but he went up there and said, "Yeah, how much is the deductible?"
For sure. Like, bro, I was renting those books. I was like, yeah, nope. How much is this book? 200? Nope. Yep. All right, let me go on there. I guess I won't have a book this year. I'll be using somebody.
That's what I should have did, because you bought a book for $300 and they'll buy it back for $50, and it's like, you know what? Nah, I'll sell it on my own. I'm not giving it back to y'all for $50.
Yeah.
Y'all $300. I'm good.
That's the way to do it. If you can find somebody, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah,
that's the best way. Yeah, I can't hold on. Sometimes you can't hold on to them books. It's like some product. It go stale.
But see that then they switch it up. Oh, we got the new.
Yeah, we got the 6th
version.
edition. The 6th edition of the same book. What you add in there? Let me see. Oh, you added a page. That's it. You added a page. You added an extra worksheet. That's what you did.
Oh,
cool.
man.
Hey, I tell you what, talk about the library, man. I didn't know I had an outstanding library fee. They wasn't trying to give me my degree, man, while I was walking past the stage. They told me, I opened up my diploma thing because my mom was like, yo, let's take a picture. I opened it up and said, go to get your degree. You have to go to the library.
To get your degree, you have to go to the library and pay your outstanding balance of $30.
So all my pictures, I'm out there like this and have my stuff closed. Like, I'm like, man.
Hey, don't feel bad. I have parking tickets.
That was mine.
Don't be bad. Hey, and the crazy thing is, it wasn't from a car; it was from a bike.
What? I'm done with you, man. I'm done for a bike.
A Ninja Turtle bike.
Oh my gosh, bro.
Yeah, what we got next, X?
Oh man. So our topic of the day, man, or like we like to call it, parlay our way. Um for this Black History Month, man, you know how I feel about it. I said Black History's 365. We ain't gonna celebrate it just for 1 month, but we would be remiss not to talk about this month and take it for what it is and speak on it. And like I said, it's 365 for me, but it's a special month. It's Black History Month, man. So I kind of wanted to talk to everybody. I think Mo, you came up with this, man. It was deep. Explain a powerful African American who has changed your thoughts and kind of changed the way you thought of Black history. And I thought that was deep, man, because I know for me, I started thinking, and I'm like, man, it's crazy. I couldn't even really tell. And the report on Dr. Charles Drew really made me like appreciate um, Black History Month, because I mean he was one of the ones I never never hear about, you know. And I happened to get a book when I was a kid. I think my mom got it for me. It was like uh, this person in Black history, and you know, it talked. I read about Dr. Charles Drew, and I'm like, man, they don't even talk about him in school, where he set up like the first blood banks to do blood transfusions. And it's crazy because the way he died is got to a car accident. He needed a blood transfusion, but he went to a white hospital that wouldn't give him a blood transfusion. So the thing that he created and set up, and he couldn't even get it.
Crazy. That's
It's nuts, man.
and X, you start. I'm telling you, man. You get to thinking, and that's kind of what I wanted to like generate. And it
Mm-hmm.
was kind of like when I thought about it, I was like, you know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people who have something significant in their, in their dialect, in their podcast, or things they talk about, or like a centralization, during that episode. And I mean, it's Black History Month. It's only right. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why I was like, hey, let's invite some other people on. Cause I mean, people they hear us talk. We talk every Wednesday. We
Mm-hmm.
talk every Wednesday. Let's hear, I mean, something powerful. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Where African Americans, Black History Month. Let's hear, some other people give off their kind of connotation and knowledge and what centralized their thinking and their,
Mm-hmm.
for Black history per se. You know what I'm saying?
For
So
sure.
that's why I'm glad, we were able to incorporate so quickly, and people don't understand. We think of things on a dime, and it's a blessing for us to have, you know, a guest on the show. I mean, and it's perfect because she's been following, she's been watching, she knows us. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, she know you, personally more so, but she knows us through the whole scheme of things, and she knows, I mean, our intentions, and to take this serious. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And to
For
really
sure.
speak from the heart of why and how they're, the person that they're going to be explaining has shaped their way and their, what they pride on for their future and their family. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So I was just like, man, that's a great idea. Like that, it's awesome. You know what I'm saying? Because I could think of collectively of a lot of African Americans who came up. My fraternity was founded. Nothing. I know X is
Mm-hmm.
a Sigma. I'm an Iota.
It's
Nothing.
all love.
They came out sooner before us, but we came out during the civil rights movement. Don't. They always want to knock the IOTAs. They always want to knock the buzz. But listen, we came out during the civil rights movement. That was the most difficult time to come out with something
Mm-hmm.
because of everything that was going on. But I ain't gonna go on too much further. X, you introduce our guest one more time, and she's gonna explain her African American historical, political, not political, I'm sorry. Oh, it's probably political too. African
Listen,
American historical idol, which paved her to do the things that she's doing in her life as well.
for sure, for sure. And like I said, introducing her again, this is my cousin. This is my Mrs. Everything, Mrs. Cincinnati, just doing listen, when you talk about Black history and making Black history, she's where it's at. So this is my cousin Tierra.
Okay, so when he sent me the question, so I thought about it two ways. The first way that I thought about it was just what person made me look at Black history different, and I couldn't really think of a person, but it was a film rather, and it was Hidden Colors. I don't know if y'all are familiar with that or seen that. Yeah. Now, I will say that some of the people that speak on there are super radical, don't agree with all their views, but I think one thing that was important to me is that I know sometimes when we start talking about Black history, we just start talking about inventions. But one thing that interested me about Hidden Colors is that they talked about women wearing braids and why they wore braids, and explained how some of them used to steal the seeds and put it in their braids. And that always made me want to go back and look at other Black history, like where we come from, why we do the things, why do we wear our hair braided, why is that such a trend, and to start looking at history in a different way versus just when we were over in the Americas and what we started inventing, but how we came about before that. So that was one way that I thought about it. And then number two, in regards to Black history, of course, I'm going to say Michelle Obama, the first Black first lady. And the reason why I love her so much is because she talks like me. And I think sometimes people underestimate that. To see a person that looks like you is one thing, but to hear them actually speak like you is something totally different. You always hear her with the same voice, with a tone. She doesn't try to talk different, if that makes sense. And I think that she has a super swag to her that you don't often see when you see.
Not the when you see the inauguration, that outfit.
She came through. She came through.
Yeah.
And I think that it's good for sometimes, and I don't want to use the word stuffy, but that's the word I'm gonna have to go with. Sometimes when you see Black women in political spaces, sometimes they're stuffy. You can't really relate to them. And I feel like her, and I'm gonna go ahead and throw Miss Maxine Waters out there. Those are two Black women who I think have made historical strides that make me look at things different now and say, like, okay, if I jump into politics, it's okay for me to be who I am, to wear my hair the way I wear my hair, to dress how I dress. I don't have to dress like an old lady. I can dress hip and look nice, and people go respect that. And I think people underestimate that, but that's my take on the question, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Sure. That
was good. Hey man, that's just wonderful.
I came prepared, y'all.
Yeah, she got her homework and everything. She did homework.
And that's great. That's another example, example of just Black excellence. Like back in the for real, bro. To be honest, bro, I was scared to even speak. So to be able to speak about something that's important and powerful to you and a movement, and you know what I'm saying, something that's actually that you really idolize and you believe in, and you just so in tune with, and to keep and to go in on something like that, I'm telling you, man, like I was sitting, there was a lot of I could remember. There was a lot of times I was in class, like school, I was so terrified to raise my hand, man. You know what I'm saying? Just because I didn't know if I was going to say the right thing, if it was appropriate, and things like that. Listen, I got out the box. I was my own self. It was, I call it, it was create your own coolness. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what I always told my guys when I was in doing like behavioral therapy and stuff like that. Create your own coolness. You know what I'm saying? Think outside the box. Don't be afraid to speak up. But it's so many times we put in the box and we so afraid that we don't even understand. We so afraid that we don't learn our culture, and we don't learn the heritage, and we don't learn what makes us better. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So exactly. That was power. I appreciate that, Miss 513.
Exactly. And I think to touch back on that, what's definitely dope about that is, like you said, not just our history here in America and what we've built and what we've invented and came up with since being here, but even before. And like when you talk about that, like when you talk about the braids, it's crazy because it spreads like wildfire, and it's a topic of discussion of cultural appropriation and all kind of stuff. It's a big discussion, but when you find, like you said, the meaning behind it, just like, like braiding the food into your hair or seeds in your hair to grow, and you hear that it was for road maps, it was for maps to give and pass down to generations to come, for this is how we get away, this is how we escape, and or this is how everything is set up. It's just it's crazy to see, like, wow, like this is where it comes from and this is why it's being done, and to go back and study it like that is definitely it was much needed. So I'm glad you came with that power right there.
Yeah,
I think that was dope because I was expecting like a Pacific person.
Oh, you think she was about to come out with like Malcolm X,
she hit
or
you with the curveball, like bam, like bro, on this way.
Yeah.
And that was dope, man.
Yeah, we thought somebody was, you know what I mean, like get you here date, but
and we got good. So when it comes to like Black history in general, we got so much history we've done and we continue doing. You can't put it in just one box or 1 month. We could talk about this for days and years to come. So it's so dope, even for right here, for this platform that we have. So many people paid the way, the sacrifices and things of that nature for us to be able to speak freely and take that stand of what we believe in and our culture, man. It's dope, man. So Tierra, we really appreciate you coming on and elaborating on what affected in your life and how it works in your life, and also all the people that lift you up. So that's dope. That's dope. That's dope.
Real quick. That was definitely awesome. Real quick though, I just want to put out there, it's always been something on my mind, and I always thought about it. Like, of course, we go through our history classes in school and stuff like that. What was something that stuck out to you guys when it came to African American history? Why was February so big? You know what I'm saying? I can remember coloring, some, Martin Luther King Jr. You know what I mean? That's probably, it was always given, who is America? Why was that always the first go-to? You know what I'm saying? Or me and Sean, we talked about Booker T. Washington, the Peanut.
Right.
It was other things. Women with the hairstyle, Madam C.J. Walker.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but it was so much more. And I'm trying to think to myself, like, I know so much about the 19th century history. Like, they even got, even in your AP calculus, AP history. Like, I didn't hear nothing about African Americans. You know what I'm saying? I was appalled. Okay. But that was the first. So when it came on, it was like, we're gonna watch this Amistad. That was the first thing that came to me when I was in high school. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The movie Amistad. And then I got into it and talked to my cousins and stuff like that, and Roots and et cetera, et cetera. And, I mean, what about you guys? How was it?
I'll let Tierra go ahead. Tierra, what you got now?
Wait, so you mean like how was Black history for us in school?
Yeah, yes. How was it introduced to you when you were in school?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's kind of what you said. Like, I remember probably being in kindergarten, first grade. Of course, you get the Martin Luther King paper and you color it. And then you memorize the I Have a Dream speech.
Yes.
And then as you get older, you start talking about Rosa Parks and doing papers. And then, of course, you make the posters. I remember being at Xavier in them house the day before a project, telling my Amanda, I forgot to tell my mom I need a poster board. You had to go to Walmart 10 o'clock at night to get print out the Black people, the Martin Luther King Rosa Parks, and put them on there. And I think that's how it was kind of brought up. And I feel like we do, and I'm not saying that Martin Luther King isn't important or Rosa Parks, but I do think that it's important for us to know other individuals who were impactful. And I feel like sometimes they don't get as much. And I think that that's kind of on purpose from my point of view, is that they try to give us the peaceful individuals, because that's what they want, just peaceful. That's why we really don't hear too much about Malcolm X in schools. And then the only disturbing thing that I just want to throw out there is, not until recently, and I probably shouldn't even say this, people are going to bash me in the comments. Not until recently, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, that I found out that Martin Luther King did not die from the gunshot, but that he was suffocated in the hospital, and that's how his family won part of their lawsuit. Did not find that out until I was an adult, and I think that that's truly disturbing, because when they teach it to you in elementary school, it's almost like he got shot at the hotel and died right there. They never talk about him actually being killed, and they never talk about the family winning the lawsuit for having him killed either, from the government. But yeah, that's my take on that.
Wow, that's mind blowing right now. I didn't even know about that last part you just said.
What?
Yeah.
What? Hold on.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
So they gonna bash you, not me, in the comments.
Oh, he took over it. He took it over.
But here's the thing. It's so funny because
a lot of people don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I found out as an adult too. And I hate to say that, but I found out as an adult.
Me too.
Because, like you said, in school, we got the peaceful people. And I feel like, yes, it is by design. Because imagine telling you, hey, Martin Luther King fought for peace. And that's why they leave that part out. Imagine saying, hey, Martin Luther King fought peacefully, but in that he got shot and he still survived. So they finished the job. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't go over so well, because then you start to question. And, as young minds, we ask that question all the time of why. We need to know a little bit more. So they give you the peaceful people to say, hey, look at what the peaceful people did and how it works for us now. You get what I'm saying? Look at where we're at now.
I'm only laughing because I can just think about my teachers, man. And they were so flowerful.
Yeah.
With it, you know what I'm saying? They was just so flowerful. Oh yeah. Martin Luther King, it was so flower, it was so powerful. And I was like, yeah, I went home. I'm like, what you learn? Yeah, Martin Luther King, he had a dream. He stood up and he went for racial equality, you know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. I was so peaceful. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I was at ease with myself. I just knew I knew Black culture. I knew African American men. I knew just people doing great things. Exactly. Just like me. You know what I'm saying? Just
exactly.
Slap in the face. Like, it was crazy, man. Dig deep, you dig deep.
That's crazy, man. The sad thing about it, Mo, my wife knew about this. So how did she even tell me?
He's
Hispanic.
Right, your wife, she's Hispanic, right?
Yeah. The crazy thing about it, her mom remembered the big old riots when it happened, when Martin Luther King got killed and everything.
Yeah.
Down in DC. She said she remembered when she was like 2, they stole a TV in the car and they just ran it.
Her mom stole the TV.
Maggie and Stephanie's mom, a 2-year-old, just ran it down the street.
We can't get her right now. Her cousin stole the TV, right? Her cousin.
Her cousin, somebody else stole that TV.
Hey.
Oh my God.
But no, that was
all right now, man. It's a beautiful. Yeah. We flourishing, man. We got to keep it going. And and this what we here for, the little small things that people just didn't know about. You know what I'm saying? Just share with people. Like, you could talk about something, you know what I'm saying? But to experience it and go through it, it's more fulfilling. And a lot of people, it's funny because people get their education from that. You know what I'm saying? We get a lot of my education. My education comes from my experience, during my life. Okay. And I went to college and all that stuff too. So, the books and everything, it comes with it. I know how to articulate some things and whatever, but man, the books can go out the window. Listen, my real life experiences, that's what shaped and molded me. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, and people they genuinely take on to that, and they can feel it. It's a certain realness. You know what I'm saying? And you can always tell the people that just studied out of a book. You know what I'm saying? They hit you with some stuff you don't even Like you went to school too. Y'all probably had the same classes. They hit you with some. You, oh shit! What? Okay, yeah. Well, this is what happened to me. You know what I'm saying? And that real life experience will take over. That I mean, but having both worlds is definitely a positive. And we just got to keep pushing forth, man, because we powerful. We got it.
Yeah, and this is definitely one of the topics, man, for this month. So this is one of the
it's
things
ongoing.
we're going to keep talking about this and getting to the Black history and getting people's input about it. And we got some special things coming, and I appreciate you, Cuzzo. I appreciate you, man.
Thanks for having me, y'all. I'm gonna see y'all in the comments next week.
Yes, and Tierra, go ahead and let us know what you currently doing, what you evolve in.
Always.
This your time to shoot your shot and tell everybody what's going on.
Even though we in Columbus, let us know. We shout.
Let us know.
Whoever out, people might come down there. You're not far away. You a couple hours.
Exactly. We give a shout out. Just let us know.
For everything you're doing.
Right now,
what you got?
We got T&D's party room. That's my event space. So we do like baby showers, birthday parties, repasses. So we got that jumping off. I also have rental property, and I rent to 100% of my rentals go to felons. So I rent to felons because they always need a place to stay.
Yeah.
What else? And then right now we still playing with the idea of me running for city council. Right now, Cincinnati has 75 people that plan on running. So we still playing with that idea. It's something I've been thinking about for a very long time. I've been involved in our community for a long time, ever since I was a teenager. So that's kind of what I got going on in a nutshell right now.
We playing.
We might be holding up. Hey, we might be holding up some signs here soon, X.
Listen, that's what I'm saying. We not
you tell her I was libertarian.
Listen, we not playing with the idea. She is running for city council.
That's huge, man.
But
hey, also, you have to come back on another time, especially when you start campaigning and everything.
Yeah, we'd be more legit. We'd be able to ship you a whole microphone and everything, so you can talk and the clarity would be all good.
Okay.
We'd be able to do all that next time. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
just put that out as a donation to the campaign.
I got
the romantic escape for the T&D. Talk about that, because
what's that about?
Okay, so we have an event planner that we go through, Truly You Event Planning, and so what she does is, if you guys go on our Instagram, it's just our event space is just like a big room where people throw parties, but she actually builds out booths, like private booths with the curtain enclosures. And so Saturday, Valentine's, or the 13th, the Saturday before Valentine's Day, she's doing a dinner from, I think, 8 to 11. And then Sunday on Valentine's Day, we're doing a romantic brunch, and that's from like 11:30 to 2:30. So she's still taking reservations for that. And I think she's going to close the reservations probably Friday or Saturday this week.
Okay.
So, yeah. Xavier, if y'all come down, let me know so I can get y'all in there.
Okay, I got you.
Man, I got the headcut and family discount.
Okay,
no.
Always just start with some black people, man. Always black.
Look,
Hey,
discount.
it's the first thing money would ask for. Discount.
But yeah,
send
man.
us off, hey, Sean. Pick out something to send us off to. We about to go ahead and wrap it up, man. It's been a beautiful night, X.
Hey, for
go
sure.
ahead, man. Pick us off, X, man, with a nice word.
Yeah, nah, man. This was like a great show, man. And we appreciate everybody tuning in. And, like we do, man, it's just, this is good for the culture. It's something we needed. And I think for our first guest, Cuzzo, you killed it. And I'm glad, to have you. So, you looking natural at this. It's, we might have to talk about some things later. You feel me?
Oh, Lord.
For sure. We definitely gonna have to have him come back on.
For sure. But nah, everybody, we thank you for tuning in to Parlay and Cigars podcast. It's always smooth over here. And have a good night, and we appreciate y'all. All right, good night, people.
Good night, y'all. It's smooth. Tuning in.